Um, is there any questions about the project or anything we need clarified? Okay, so I don't think we have a lot to talk about for these projects. Mostly for the Socks for Seniors project, it's like everything's mostly on schedule. We've done everything that we wanted to at this point. So I think we're doing pretty good for that project. Unless there's anything that anyone else wants to mention, I think we should be pretty good for that because there's not much to talk about. I think Anthony wanted to talk about the sock drive though.
Angie, before move on to next project, I have a question. Next week is the final week for everyone. So you have the card and the blanket or socks to be delivered to the senior center. Do you think you have you can handle this, or you need to coordinate with the senior center to push back this kind of date?
I don't know if we can actually push back the date because that's their deadline, but okay. I think maybe we could work with some adults to drop it off instead because we can't drive ourselves anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll work as well. So if you need, just to send an email to them to ask if you can push it back to maybe 19 or 20s. In that case, you can also go there to drop. But it doesn't hurt to ask if it's okay if they said it cannot be pushed back.
It doesn't hurt to ask, but I feel like teachers, at least in my experience, they're not going to assign homework during finals week. So after school ends during finals week, we don't have any school homework to do, so we have more time.
Only if you don't need to prepare for the final. You need more time to prepare, right?
Yeah, but you're not gonna study all day.
Okay. Yeah, it's up to you guys. How you wanna handle this.
Yeah, and also someone in the chat asked when we can pick up the cards. You guys can come anytime this week, preferably as soon as possible, and try to text or DM me beforehand so I can get them ready. Is there anything that anyone wants to say about the Socks for Seniors project? I think that project's mostly on track. Okay, if there's nothing that we really want to say about the project, we can move on. I think Anthony wanted to cover the toy drive and stuff with that. So Anthony, you can.
Yeah, so I think I made it really clear before, but I see a bit of misplanning and bad forethought on my part. So currently the project for the toys project is not in a good place. So our donations are only from our club itself, no outside donations. Our job list is not good. No one's signing up for jobs. And I would like to take blame for that because I did not realize that this project was right on finals week. It was just really bad planning on my part. So really stupid of me, first of all. Second, I can't expect anyone to sign up for many jobs or do many jobs because finals. And in fact, me, myself, I'm also studying for finals. So I don't think this project is going to be successful. So unless we see a huge spike in signups in the next few days, then most likely we're going to cancel this project and hopefully we can do better on a future project. I think that's pretty much it for this project.
I mean, even if you donate a few toys, that's still something, right?
Yes, it is possible. We can. So we already received those $35 from different people. So that money we can directly go and
I have.
Yes. So
I have.
I'm gonna address the next issue. So like I know what you're gonna say. So like me myself, I also have a few excess toys. They're all new, and I personally called St. Jude's, like the local one at San Francisco. Yes, they will be receiving and they will be accepting new toys that are sanitized well. So what we recommend if you plan to donate those is you can just sanitize them with 70% alcohol, and then preferably you can wipe it down and you can drop it off to the 2 locations mentioned on the flyer. So one is my house, 5086 Osborne Circle. I'll put the address into the chat later, but otherwise we're just gonna donate what we have, and that'll be the end of the project.
Anthony, do we have any deadline for this drop off toys? When are you going to send the toys to St. Jude's Hospital?
So our deadline originally was the 23rd, but for now, I'm gonna move it up. So I think the deadline, if you want to get it to me, is by the 18th. I'll donate it on winter break weekend on the 21st or 23rd.
So the hospital, do they accept the toys donation all through the holiday until January, or they also have some deadline to collect those donations?
They don't have a deadline, but as I mentioned, and as in the name of the project, this is a Christmas toy drive. So I prefer if this would go before Christmas. And St. Jude's, like since I called them, there was 2 ways they offered to have you donate. One was through cash, or one was through drop off. If you wanted to, like if you wanted to waste money, you could drop them off or send a package all the way to Tennessee, but I have no option. I have no want to do that. So we are going to donate them to the local St. Jude's.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking is because now because everybody is preparing the final, they don't have time to join this project. And but after next week, in the holiday, in the winter break, a lot of club members will have free time to join whatever the task is. So if there is no deadline for the hospital to receive the donation, maybe we can better use the holiday winter break to think of how to modify this project to have more people to join, get more service hours.
Yes, I think that is a good thing. So I think what we have right now, we will keep. If you have hours for this project, then we'll count those. But I'm just share my screen real quick. Oh, host, can you give me share screen permissions?
Yes. Okay.
So if you see on the chart, right now we have a flyer finished. We have a GoFundMe set up. And then otherwise, we don't have many signups at all. These aren't great. So what I think is going to happen is that if people were available even after their finals, then they would have signed up already for certain things like these, but still there aren't many signups. So I can assume that people might still be busy, or they just want to take the holidays off. So I think we should just wrap up this project. Whatever hours you guys put into this, we will keep them, we will count them. But as for expanding this project even more, I don't think that is necessary or that is like effective at this point.
So I think we're still gonna, so Anthony, to clarify, we're still moving on with the toy drive, but there aren't as many signups. So if anyone has anything to donate, just do it. But
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be taking in these donations we have. I'll be purchasing what we can purchase with the money we got. But as for trying to promote this even more, as for trying to get more toys, I don't think that's going to be a thing. I don't think we can advertise even more. I don't think we can set up more drop boxes. I mean, for the people who signed up for the note or message writing, those will still be in place. We still will buy some notes, some cards for people to write on. we'll still donate. But again, nothing special is going to happen.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think we were able to cover our agenda really fast because there's not really much to talk about. So if anyone has any questions about either project, now is the time to ask because we're all here and we can answer your questions. Okay, you guys can just ask questions in the chat later if you need them. Is there anyone right now in the meeting that has anything that they want to say about the projects? If not, I think Wei wanted to talk about like the future of the club structure as well as just some stuff that the advisors were talking about.
Yeah, thank you, Angie. This is Wei. So the club restructuring proposal that Aditya and other club members presented last time, we share it to our board members, the parents advisors. We are very impressed of the how thorough and how thoughtful this proposal is, and we thank you very much because you really think for the club, help us to think how we should grow and how we should improve as a whole club. Thank you so much. Regarding to the restructure agenda and also how far we want to go to in this process, because now the club, we don't have that many active members. So if you look at the projects and also the club meetings that we have right now, there are probably 20, 30 active members. And if we don't want to go too far at this moment. So the restructure we want to take is in the club level. Like for the whole club, we want to set up some kind of officer's position, like Aditya proposed in his slides, like president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, and yeah, some positions like that. And we want to run like this for some time and see if that will fit our club and if the kids can handle the club very well. And then after that, if any club members want to set up the charter or school club in their school, then it's very welcome to do that. Because yeah, that's how the students should grow for their personal skills and leadership skills. For the time frame, we are thinking of after holiday season, like January or February time frame, that we can run the election for the officer's position. If anyone want to have interest in that, probably they can start prepare now. And also for the candidates that are qualified for the officer's position, we are thinking to set up some kind of requirement, like because now we don't have that many projects that's led by the students. So leading project is not a requirement for now, maybe in the future as you guys proposed. But for now, we still want some kind of qualification requirements, like number of service hours that you have served for this, you have volunteered in this club. So we have not decided how many hours, probably 10 hours, like we don't want to make too many of hours. So, but from now to January, February timeframe, you still have time to catch up with that. So if you don't have that many hours, don't worry. we understand that now is the holiday season, is the final week, so you don't have that much time to volunteer, but you still have time to catch up. And also, where the parents advisors are also talking about who can vote for this election. Like we probably will also we suggest to set up some timeline, like you are the club member before, like before this club meeting, or so all the current club members. Aditya, you have any question? Maybe you can talk about it after I talk. So we can have this voting qualification as well, because we want to make it fair to everybody. That's the suggestions from the parents advisors. And also keep it in mind, our club now has the 501c3 status, so we will be able to give out the certificate of PVSA, like the Presidential Volunteer and Service Award. So if you want to pursue this award, please keep it in mind that we should have the 100 hours in a year for the gold medal, and I cannot remember what is the next level. Is that 80 hours or 50 hours for the silver medals? And our status is, we started to have the status from August 7th, this year. So next year, August 6th will be the deadline for this year's application. So you want to pursue this number of hours in order to be qualified for that award. Yeah, that's the feedback from the board. Any questions?
Yeah, so just a quick recap of what you said. You said that in January we'll have the election, or probably after the holidays, and then there are certain requirements for members to vote and how the club will be split up. So just a quick question, how will the club be split up? Because based on the way it was presented before, that there would be positions, approximately 4 positions that would be available. But in our club, in our big club, there are a lot more people. So how would you split up the jobs that way? Would it be any different?
That's the election, right? You different club members will run different officer positions, and then we will have election for different positions. So yeah, I think it's similar as what you guys have proposed in your proposal. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. So at what point are you going to take a phase 2 and go back into the into the chapters, and then have different chapters of the big club?
Different chapters, you mean the school club, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so after we restructure the club level, I think there is a timeline for the schools to set up the school clubs. So you can find out the timeline for each school, and if you want to set up the school charters after restructure of the whole club, you can go ahead to find out and give the submit the proposal to the club. And the positions in the school charters, probably it will be very similar as the whole club, but the positions can be independent, or you can take different officer positions in school club and the whole club. It doesn't matter. So it's kind of under the umbrella, but kind of independent in some way.
So recently I sent out the stress test email. So we have been getting a lot more people going into our Discord and also into our Hangouts. So from there, I can assume we might have more activity and more members. So if that happens, how would you have that many members but not enough leadership positions? Because by the way, it seems like it. Like if we run it like a school club, there will be different people going to different schools. So we would have multiple leadership positions and maybe the multiple of the same person. So no, multiple of the same ones. For example, Pleasanton might have president. Dublin has one, but right now you're making it all into one big club. So would you expand on any of those positions? Would you split up the jobs more, or would you keep it the way it is right now?
For now, we haven't decided. Maybe you guys can propose, but for now, we are thinking to have one president and one vice president, but we haven't decided for yet. But for sure, there will be more club members than the officers' position, and we will have term as you proposed in your slides. We will have terms for the positions, so everyone has their chance to run for the election. And after you retire from this position, you can only run for other positions. But yeah, for the school clubs, you will have more opportunities there as well. So I hope everyone can get their opportunity to grow their personal skills and the leadership skills in this club. Yeah, so that's our plan right now.
So at what point are you guys going to decide on the actual structure of the club? Because December is coming up, and after the holidays, January is going to be like, it's already going to be January by the end of the holidays. So at what point are you deciding like how many officers there are, how many positions there are? So at what point are you deciding that? Because I feel like we need to give away as much authority as possible, because that way we can become more inviting, and hopefully we'll get new members rather than just a lot of inactive members. So how do you plan to do that?
We can have a plan. So we will run the election in January, right? So we suggest you guys to modify your proposal and maybe not go with just remove the school charter for now. It will be there in the future, but I think Aditya has some kind of election scenario in his slides, and also the positions and the responsibilities for each officer. So modify that slides, and then we can review again. If everything is fine, we can just approve your proposal from there. And I think as long as you can, maybe you can work on this proposal after your final during the holiday season, and we can discuss from there. And I think we can approve before January.
I already think we have some eager people who want to set up a possible restructure proposal again. So I think that's a really good place to end my questions, because I feel like we have a lot to improve. So the faster or the better we can, the more we can improve, the more we can change, the better. Thank you.
Yeah, when you prepare the new proposal, bear in mind the minimum requirement for the candidates and also who can vote, because we want to make it fair to everyone and also encourage everyone to step up to support all the projects and to be the leader for all the club members. So what we suggest is to have the minimum requirement, service requirement for the candidates, and also there is a deadline when to join the club and attend the club meeting or attend to join the project. Those are the requirements for who can vote.
Sounds good. I'll be making those changes and presenting them to the advisors.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya.
Okay, so I think Is there anything else about the club structure or anything that the advisors wanted to talk about? Okay, if that's it, I think the club board decided this last week in our private meeting, but one of our members, and I think one of the club board, and I think a lot of members in general have some kind of meeting at like 1 o'clock or something. So I think our club board decided that for the future meetings, starting 2 weeks from now, we'll start having each meeting at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Wednesdays instead of 1 to 2.
Wait, Angie, I thought it was 12 to 1.
Yeah.
Is it 12 to 1? My bad. So instead of 1 to 2, we're gonna have them at 12 to 1 because we feel like a lot of people have certain clubs that will be meeting at 1 and that will conflict. Is there anyone that has any questions about that? Of course, these open meetings are not mandatory, although they are recommended, and we will be releasing any meeting minutes and also meeting recordings after every meeting. So if you can't make it at that time, that's totally fine, and you can just read the meeting minutes or watch the recordings.
And also, if any club members that have some thing that they want to discuss in the club meeting, feel free to send the agenda to the meeting coordinator. They can include that in the agenda.
Yeah.
And also, and also our project, our club is the platform for everyone to develop their personal or leadership skills. So feel free to introduce the project ideas. We can review anytime if you have any idea want to implement in this club. So in that case, we can have resources that can support your idea, and then everyone can introduce project to this club, to the club members.
Yeah, of course. If anyone has any members have something they want to mention, feel free to just tell any of the club board or club advisors and we can try to set a meeting up. Is there anything else that anyone would like to say for today's meeting? I think we've gone through all of our agenda items.
Yeah, I see Patrick just joined. Patrick, we just go over the feedback from the parents advisors for the restructural proposal. So what we will do is Aditya and other club members will modify their proposal for the club level restructural positions, and also who the candidates qualification and the voters requirements. So they will work on this after their final week. And then after they have their modified proposal, our parents board members will review again. And then if everything is going well, we will approve, and they will run the election in January or February timeframe.
Okay, so thank you. We have shared the detail on the feedback yet, or have not?
Yeah, we shared the details already.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, I
apologize for joining the meeting late.
I have another question. Like, I know we talked about a mentoring program a while back where like we could assign each of the club members to someone. Are we still gonna do that? I feel like that would be good to get everyone familiar and comfortable.
Yeah, so I think we already discussed this before with the board by itself, but if I recall correctly, we agreed to this idea, but no one actually acted on it. So is the advisory board, are you guys okay with that? Especially because right now we have a huge influx of members joining our Discord, joining our Hangouts. So I think right now is a good time to implement it.
I think we should, because like we decided on it, and like if we want to get any more new members and get people to participate, like they might not feel comfortable talking because they're just unfamiliar with the club and how it runs because it's too complicated. And we kind of seem unreachable. So like, I think that would help a lot.
I think that's definitely something that we should start working on if we want to do that in the future. I think the club board can try to put together some kind of like actual structure to it.
I think we should do the mentoring thing as soon as possible, because like if the club members are unfamiliar, they aren't going to participate, and we can't expect anything else. And like we shouldn't try to go for a more complicated structure before we get everyone familiar.
And also, as our club grows, us 6 founders, we won't be the only ones mentoring people anymore. People we think who have the capabilities of being a mentor can also help us become mentors for new members.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to have all the club members get more familiar with each other and feel free to discuss any things that they want to. Yeah, I think if you guys are okay with that, you can go ahead to plan this out and implement.
Also, it's a good way to interact with people when you basically don't interact with anyone other than your family at home.
Yeah, exactly.
We can try to set up the mentor thing really soon, hopefully by the next meeting. Is there anything else that someone would like to say for this meeting?
I see somebody asked the project review advisor meeting. How will the advisor meetings work? So so the advisor meeting is for the to review the projects, mural painting and school supply projects. So whoever volunteer for that 2 projects and submit the volunteer hours, we will the advisors will review the project with them, see how the project goes and what they feel about this club, and yeah, just a carol talk and then approve the hours. So if you can schedule time with your related advisors, please go ahead, and then yeah, it's just for those 2 projects.
Are there any more questions? You can either send them in the chat or say it out loud. If there's nothing else that we want to cover for this meeting.
Just one last reminder.
Yeah.
So again, I sent out the stress test email, and if everyone wants to stay on an active member list, please respond with 1 word, acknowledged. Otherwise, I think that's it.
Okay, if that's the last thing, if that's all that we have to talk about for this meeting, I think we can end it right here. Jessica, did you want to say something? You unmuted. Okay, I think that's it. We can probably end this meeting here if there's nothing that anyone else wants to mention. Thank you everyone for coming to this meeting. That's the end of this week's meeting. The next meeting, reminder that the next meeting will be at 12 instead of 1, 2 weeks from now. And yeah.
One question, next meeting is 2 weeks from now, right? It will be in the holiday. Are we still gonna have this meeting, or you guys want to skip for holiday?
I think we can do what we did for, I think it was like Labor Day or something, or Veterans Day.
Is next week? Is the next meeting going to be an open meeting as well?
No,
it's every 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. The meeting next 2 weeks. If there are enough people that can't make it to our next open meeting, then we definitely can push it back. But I think for now, we can still have it.
I think we should have the meeting on like just anyways, because currently we have 15 members of our 70 who signed up in the meeting anyways. So I believe we do have the time. It's on a Wednesday, so everyone should have the time. We don't have anywhere to go because of COVID, so I think we should just host a meeting like normal.
All right, so everyone, remember the next meeting 2 weeks from now is at 12, not 1. And I think that's it for this meeting. You guys are free to go.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us or like DM us on Discord or whatever.